today on the Project X channel, I'm fitting out my garage, and what we're going to be making is some workbenches out of steel. We're going to use box 40mm steel, 2mm thickness, and we're going to be chopping it with my new Evolution saw, and we're going to be welding it up and fitting them in here, just along there, and another one just along here. I want to keep the bottom open so I can put in a perhaps a rolling toolbox to fit in there, and we're going to make it 3 of these. One is going to go over the other side, and I've already started one. I've just bought this Evolution saw, and so here's one I've already started. I've just laid it out on the floor there. I'm going to cut all of them, get them grounded up, and then tack weld them, straighten them up, and then finish off the welds. Might get these powder coated. I'll be putting some channel bar across the top there so I can put myself a worktop. I've not decided on the worktop yet, but let's get to it. So I'm using this Evolution saw, bought it brand new. We're going to see how it fares up. So I've just marked 50 centimeters or 500mm across here, and it's not laser straight, but I can trim it and grind it to make sure that they all fit together. I've got this and I've marked out where my cut needs to be. Not far off, that's practically bang on. I'll just measure that. I'll measure that and see how accurate it was. If I've got to trim a little bit off, I'll just obviously trim a bit off. Have a look. And that's practically bang on. Next one. Grab a mark there, see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to do all my 90-degree angles now, or basically I'm making the legs, so I'm going to be chopping these to size. I'll give this area a sweep around because all these little shards get stuck under here, so when you're trying to turn the table it gets jammed. So you've got to keep it clean. Turn it upside down, give it a shake and get rid of all these. So I've set that to 0, but I'm using this to make sure it is 90 degrees. And then I'll tighten it back up and get chopping the legs. Not my legs. The table legs. So I'm nearly done with the legs. I've got one more set to do, only 3 more cuts and I should be done with those. These little shrapnel bits are going absolutely everywhere. They're all over the garage floor over there as well. All I'm doing is marking them from 1 and then chopping them all to this size, 1 metre. It's doing well, it's working well as that saw. So I'm just starting to feel some chatter when I'm cutting now, so I think the blade might be getting a little bit blunt. It's just starting to show some signs of resistance. Yeah. Still goes through mine, but the noise is incredible. So I think that blade is starting to wear out. I've not gone too fast with it, so I'm not overworking it, but I don't know how many cuts these can make before they do start to show signs of wear. They're not particularly expensive blades, but I need to do a lot more cutting, so you better keep up to the job. It seems to be cutting fine. I'm just going to go extra slowly with it. That's the last one of them. These are for the braces at the back. So I need to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 side braces now and grind it all up, and we should be ready to go. Well, that's the final one cut. All my pieces are cut now. I'm ready to grind up the edges and weld it together. Can't wait, it's going to look really good. I've got some spare as well. Have I got some spare? Yeah, I've got one spare piece left. And a few more spare bits so I can make something else. So I'm going to clear all this mess up and then get grinding. Let's check this blade. So after cutting all that, that is the state of the blade. It was struggling towards the end, but it doesn't appear to. It's still got a sharp edge on it, but I mean, it's not very hot. But it did struggle towards the end there on the last one. But yeah, pretty good actually. It does the job. But I've cut all of that without any cooling or lubrication. So right, grind it up, next job. Okay, with all that cutting done, this is my thoughts upon using the Evolution saw. Is it value for money? Well, it has done what it says on the box. It's cut through all that steel over there and saved me a lot of trouble. But the only problem I've got with it, and I'm not so sure if I will be using it much in the future, is that it leaves an incredible mess. I mean, the amount of metal shards and chips from cutting the steel, it went everywhere, all over the garage, and I tried to shield it as much as possible. The saw does work, it does a very good job. It chops through the steel, the angles are perfect, and the blade did kind of blunt off towards the end. And now I've cut through all that steel without using any coolant whatsoever, but it has made an incredible mess on the floor. I got this as an alternative to using cutting discs. A plasma cutter I would recommend, but I got this as an alternative to using cutting discs. And the problem with the cutting discs is I didn't want sparks all over the garage because I got to sweep it all up. It makes a mess. But this saw, unfortunately, made an incredible mess. It took me nearly 45 to 50 minutes to clear up, and there's still metal chips and swarf all over the garage. So I will use it again, but I think I'll try and use it in a controlled space so I can stop all those sparks from getting anywhere. Perhaps if it was covered, I don't know. So this is all my steel, all the edges ground up, ready for welding. So I'm going to tack weld this with my flux core welder, and then we'll check this all straight. If we're good to go, then we'll weld it up fully and see how it turns out. I think these are going to weigh a ton.
Go. Nice little welds them. I think I'll do these bits when I stand it up because welding down is pretty difficult. So I'll do these corners here and then crack on with the next one. So I've already got one of these welded up. This is a finished product. I just need to weld all these tacks that I've done, make sure it's all nice and square. I'm going to use this as a welding bench now. Table gets me off the floor. So I'm going to be doing the legs as I've done here. Legs for the next one, and then again tack them all up and get them welded. So I'm just checking that these are square. Yeah. Yeah, lovely. So I'm going to tack those and I'm not going to weld them up until I've finished. So I've finally got them finished. I've made 3 of these, all welded up. I've ground off the edges that are going to be shown, so I'm going to take these for powder coating. I'm just waiting on some countertops to put on them. It turned out pretty good actually. Alright, so the next job is to cut these channel bars for my countertop. I was going to sink the countertops inside so it's flush with the steel, but I've decided I'm going to cut these and sink them flush like that, drill some holes in them, then I can mount my countertops directly on top here. That way if I need to replace them in the future, they'll be a lot more easier to replace, and I think it'll look better. So I'm just marking these out for the long lengths. I'll get them cut and welded in. I don't intend on throwing away these small pieces because you'll be surprised how handy they come in. All these little offcuts from the project. I'm going to keep hold of them because I mean these can work if I weld them up as brackets for shelves. Same uses for these as well, so I'm going to keep all of the little offcuts. There we go, all completed, ready for the powder coaters now. So channel bars on, ready for the countertops. I've drilled these holes all the way along here, so when I get the countertop on I can screw it from underneath and secure them and get them powder coated satin black. Order my countertops tonight. Job well done. So I've got the benches back from the powder coaters. They've done a fantastic job. I've gone for satin black as discussed earlier. I'm now fitting the countertops to all three of them. I've just used 18mm plywood. It's not the countertop that I wanted, but the actual surface that I did want, it's unavailable at the moment, not in stock due to the COVID crisis. So I might replace them later on, or then, who knows, I might just keep them as they are. But for now, I've cut these to size, and I'm just going to give them a sand, make it all nice and smooth. I was going to put some aluminium around the edging there, but I think they're getting a little bit too fancy. So I'm going to sand it all smooth. I may clear coat the top. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. So get these sanded, get them screwed in, get them fitted where they need to be. Crack on with another project. See you in a minute. Benches are finished, they're all in place. Well, two of them are in place. I don't know what I'm going to do with the third one yet. I do plan on putting toolboxes under here, just like this one. Another one of those will fit there, and another two here, and the compressor will go to another location. But overall, I'm quite pleased with these. I think I will get some oil or some varnish or wax just to put on the top of them to make them shiny. I may even put a backsplash across there. I think I'll change these sockets for metal ones with USB ports, I think. So overall, really pleased how these have turned out. I think I'll make some more in the future. I could perhaps put some drawers under here, even make some with cupboards. So on that note, I'll plan my next project, which may be a barbecue. But in the meantime, I think these worktops are going to stay. They're not bad actually. There's no point changing them. So, job well done.